This video is brought to you by Brilliant. Last week, Vladimir Putin made headlines for firing his Black Sea Admiral Nikolai Yevmenov for Russia's humiliating naval losses, thanks in large part to long-range Storm Shadow missiles provided by France and the UK. Ukraine has been striking Russian ships docked in Sevastopol with impressive regularity, and it's now been estimated that Russia has lost a third of its Black Sea fleet since Putin's invasion. This is good news for Ukraine, obviously, but it's also great news for Turkey, which has long complained about Russia's influence in the region and is now emerging as a dominant power in the Black Sea. So, in this video, we're going to look at why the Black Sea is so important to both Russia and Turkey, how Russia's regional power is waning, and why that's great news for Turkey.
Before we start, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell to stay in the loop and be notified when we release new videos.
So first, let's start with some context. The Black Sea is of massive strategic importance to its littoral countries, but especially the two big players, Turkey and Russia, who have competed for control over the region since the days of the Ottoman and Russian empires. For Russia, the Black Sea provides access to warm water ports, which are accessible all year round, and before the war, Russia exported about 30% of its crude oil via this route. The Black Sea is also important for Russia militarily, because it's their only naval launch pad into the Mediterranean, and the Montreux Convention, which limits the number of foreign ships allowed through the Turkish Straits, gives Russia a massive incumbency advantage. For Putin, there's also a historical grievance here, because the Soviet Union had near total dominance of the Black Sea. Its northern and eastern coasts were USSR territory, and its western coast was covered by the pro-Soviet Romanian SSR and the People's Republic of Bulgaria. Today, though, Romania and Bulgaria are NATO members, and most of the northern coastline is Ukrainian territory. To this end, Putin's invasion of Ukraine and annexation of Crimea were at least in part about reasserting Russian control in the Black Sea, and it might have been one of the reasons Russia intervened in Georgia in 2008, given that the separatist territory of Abkhazia sits on the Black Sea's western coast. Anyway, in the 2010s, Russia's growing territorial dominance and naval buildup in the Black Sea provoked some irritation in Turkey. In 2016, for instance, Turkish President Erdogan complained that the Black Sea had become, quote, a Russian lake, and advocated for a stronger NATO presence. However, with Russia's Black Sea fleet having been decimated by Ukraine, the balance of power has shifted back to Turkey. This is great news for Erdogan for at least 3 reasons. First, it's helped Turkey achieve a degree of energy independence. Historically, Turkey has been very dependent on energy imports. Russia actually accounts 40% of Turkey's gas imports, which arrive in Turkey via the Turk Stream and Blue Stream pipelines, both of which run through the Black Sea. However, in 2020, Turkish Petroleum discovered 710 billion cubic meters of natural gas in the Black Sea Sakarya field. Turkey completed work on the Sakarya field super quickly, and it's been projected that by 2028, Turkey could produce around 40 million cubic meters per day. With its own domestic gas production and the presence of pipeline infrastructure in the Black Sea, Turkey now wants to decrease its dependence on imports and become a regional energy trading hub. Turkey has already signed agreements to export gas to Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary. Outside of Europe, this month Erdogan signed an energy cooperation deal with Somalia to help the East African country explore, develop, and produce oil and gas, and made a deal to import more gas from Turkmenistan. Anyway, control of the Black Sea is important in this respect, because it means Turkey's new gas business can't be threatened or undermined by Russian naval power. This has also been good news for Turkey's economy, which, thanks to Erdogan's unorthodox monetary policy, has been struggling with a long-running currency crisis, which has been exacerbated by a chronic lack of foreign currency reserves. But control of the Black Sea has helped Turkey create new economic opportunities, which provide valuable foreign currency inflows. Obviously, there's the revenue from which the gas exports we've just mentioned, which increased by over 15% in 2023. But Turkey has also made deals with its Caucasus neighbors to develop the Middle Corridor trade route, an alternative route to Russia's Northern Corridor that starts in China and ends either in the Black Sea or Turkey. In 2022, the amount of trade going through the Middle Corridor doubled, whilst that going through Russia's Northern Corridor saw a 34% decline. Now, to be clear, we're not saying this couldn't have happened without Turkish dominance in the Black Sea, but geopolitically it would have been both more difficult and more precarious. Finally, let's move on to security. In certain respects, the war in Ukraine has been pretty good for Turkey from a security perspective. Turkey's control over the Turkish Straits as described by the 1936 Montreux Convention, reminded the rest of NATO why Turkey is such an important strategic ally, and allowed Turkey to play a key role in brokering the Black Sea Grain Initiative, which was a massive diplomatic win for Erdogan. But while the war has reminded the rest of NATO why Turkey is important, Russia's waning naval power also means Turkey doesn't have to rely on NATO for security. Turkey wants to position itself as an autonomous regional power, so it really doesn't want to see a large multinational NATO presence in the Black Sea, or have NATO interfering with its reputation-boosting efforts to guarantee regional security. For instance, in early January, Turkey denied the entry of British minehunter ships intended for Ukraine, and instead decided to establish and lead a task force to rid the Black Sea of mines, with its littoral neighbours Bulgaria and Romania. The point we're making is that Turkey now doesn't need the help of countries like the US to effectively police the Black Sea, which reduces the amount of leverage other NATO members have over Erdogan, and allows Erdogan to pursue an independent Turkey-first foreign policy in the region. All in all, Russia's efforts to reassert itself in the Black Sea clearly haven't gone quite to plan, and its waning naval power gives Turkey a strategic advantage. Whether Turkey can retain its de facto monopoly of force in the region will obviously depend on what happens in Ukraine. But as things stand, it's a welcome bit of good news for Erdogan. A lot of the stuff we talk about at TLDR can seem pretty complicated, especially when we dive into economics and detailed data, which is why we use Brilliant.org to keep us sharp. Brilliant is where you learn by doing, with thousands of interactive lessons in maths, data analysis, programming, and AI. Brilliant is a learning platform designed to be uniquely effective. The first principles approach helps you build understanding from the ground up, which is also how we structure TLDR videos. Each lesson is filled with hands-on problem solving that lets you play with concepts, a method proven to be 6 times more effective than just watching lectures. Plus, all content on Brilliant is crafted by an award-winning team of teachers, researchers, and professionals from MIT, Caltech, Duke, Microsoft, Google, and more. Brilliant helps build your critical thinking skills through problem solving, not memorizing. So while you're building real knowledge on specific topics, you'll also be becoming a better thinker. Learning a little every day is one of the most important things you can do, both for personal and professional growth. Brilliant helps you build real knowledge in minutes a day with fun lessons you can do whenever you have time. It's the opposite of mindless scrolling. Brilliant recently launched a ton of new content in data, all of which uses real-world data to train you to see trends and make better informed decisions, something politicians could really learn from. Anyway, these are for learners of any level to start or continue learning data analysis, with a fully built-out suite of new content, from Bayes' theorem to multiple linear regression, and you can truly learn by doing, as you'll be working with real data sets from sources like Starbucks, Twitter, Spotify, and more. To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days, click on the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Brilliant for their support of TLDR.